Take risk in your life. If you win, you can lead. If you lose, you can guide. Hi friends, welcome to my channel Physio Notes. Hope you all guys are fine there. First of all, I extended my gratitude to all my viewers, families and friends. Thank you for your support. So let's begin the session. So today we are going to discussing about a new topic and which is called as Tabes dorsalis. So I think that you all are familiar with this topic, tabes dorsalis. So it is a condition which is associated with syphilis, that is tertiary syphilis. So syphilis is a bacterial infection which is caused by a bacteria which is known as Treponema pallidum, and it is a sexually transmitted disease. So it can be divided into as primary syphilis, secondary syphilis and tertiary syphilis. That is, if you are not getting proper treatment for this syphilis condition after 2 or more decades after the initial contact, there will be some neurological disorders will come, and that will result in what, this neurosyphilis condition, and which causes some damage to the spinal cord, to the area where they carry the information, sensory information to the brain, and that will result in this tabes dorsalis condition. Actually, the first description about this tabes dorsalis condition was given by a French neurologist. His name was Guillaume Deschines in 1856, which he called his condition as ataxique locomotorique progressive, which is known as progressive locomotor ataxia. And this name was termed or coined in 1836, before the actual cause was known. So let's study or let's discuss detail about this condition through the slides. So first of all, we are going with the definition of this tabes dorsalis condition. I included two definitions. Either you can choose which one is better and you can write in the examination. So first definition is, it is a syphilitic disorder which involves the dorsal column of spinal cord and the sensory nerve trunks that is mainly marked or characterized by wasting, pain, lack of coordination of voluntary movements and reflexes, and disorders in the sensation, nutrition and vision. So it is also known as locomotor ataxia, syphilitic myelopathy or tabetic neurosyphilis, or otherwise syphilitic myeloneuropathy. The next definition is tabes dorsalis, which is also called as progressive locomotor ataxia and which is a rare neurological form of tertiary syphilis that is characterized by three features, that is mainly sensory deficit, loss of neuromuscular coordination and diminished reflexes. And it usually, that is the symptoms of this neurosyphilis is usually affecting the legs, and that may not be appear more than 25 years after the initial contact. And if we are not treating this condition, that if we are not giving proper attention to this neurosyphilis, it will become a complication like tabes dorsalis condition. Moving about the epidemiology. So this slide shows the incidence of this tabes dorsalis condition. So tabes dorsalis is more prevalent in pre-antibiotic era. Nowadays this is very rare because this syphilis is early diagnosis and get treated properly. So it does not complicate it to the late tertiary syphilis. But the incidence of primary and secondary syphilis is uh, very rising or very more. Globally, out of this total syphilitic condition, only 25 to 35% of people are complicated by this neurosyphilis condition, and out of this, only 1/3 of the patients are getting this tabes dorsalis condition. Usually it is diagnosed during the midlife, and it is seen more in male than in females, and only 1.5 to 9% of people with the syphilis are complicated by this tabes dorsalis condition. Then we are moving to the etiology. So etiology says that it is mainly caused by the demyelination of nerve fibers or nerve trunks in the spinal cord or the peripheral nervous system, secondary to an untreated syphilis infection that is mainly caused by a bacterium, spirochete bacterium, which is known as Treponema pallida. So when the syphilis is untreated, it will affect the nerves and that will resulting in the symptoms. So this is the main etiology behind the tabes dorsalis condition. Let's discuss about the pathophysiology of this condition. So what happened is, during the initial infection, the bacteria enter our body and it spreads through the blood and it reaches the brain and spinal cord, but it remains inactive for years. If we are not getting any proper treatment for this condition, there will be neurological disorders arises, and that arises after a decade later. That is after a two or more decades later, which is called as neurosyphilis. And in that, there will be damage to the spinal cord, and that in turn leads to what, this Stapes dorsalis condition. So what happened in this Stapes dorsalis condition is there will be inflammation of the nerve fibers or nerves in the dorsal columns of the spinal cord as well as the peripheral nervous system. So these are the areas, or these are the nerves which carry the information like deep pain and position sense from legs and arms to the brain. So as a result of the information, this nerve fibers loses their insulation and get start atrophying. So that will result in symptoms. So this is the main pathophysiology behind the Stapes dorsalis condition. So this pathological process, which is usually start in the lowermost portion of spinal cord, and it gets spreads upwards. And the inflammation in this region can also affect the other nerves which control the vision, hearing, and the eye movements and the bladder and bowel movements. Let's discuss about one of the main or important things in the slide, that is the clinical features of Stapes dorsalis. It exhibits a wide variety of clinical features. So first of all, we can see about the onset of this Stapes dorsalis condition. It is very gradual and it is incidence. And it is earliest manifestation of this Stapes dorsalis condition is lightning pain, which is characterized by a sharp, stabbing, brief, like a flash of lightning, and usually we can localize to one spot. This is the main peculiarity of this lightning pain. It is sharp, it is stabbing and brief, and it can be localized to one spot. Then there will be loss of deep tenderness, and while we is using the Achilles tendon, does not exhibit any pain, which is known as Abadi's sign. Reflexes are usually absent, that is they are areflexia. Deep tendon reflexes are absent. Angle jerk is the first one, should be lost, and there will be impaired vibratory and position sense in feet and legs. There will be sphincter control is lost, so that will leads to micturition and incontinence, and the bladder become atonics and their complete retention may occur. Impotence in males are common, and there will be testicular sensation is lost. Romberg sign is present. So what do you mean by Romberg sign? Romberg sign means the patient is able to stand with feet together and eyes open. So after the patient is told to be close the eyes, the patient starts to fall apart, or patient starts to lose their balance. This is Romberg sign, and that should be present in this Stapes dorsalis condition. Then pupillary abnormalities are almost present in all cases. That is, the pupil in both sides are unequal, and there will be accommodation reflex, but the pupil does not constrict when we expose to the light, which is known as Argyll-Robertson pupil. And majority of patients shows ptosis and ophthalmoplegia, and optic atrophy is also frequent. There will be pin and needle feelings, coldness, numbness, tingling, and other paresthesia, which can be seen associated with its Stapes dorsalis. Then there will be weakness, dementia. The muscles are hypotonic in nature. There will be trophic changes in the skin, usually perforated ulcers, which is seen in the pad of great toe. And joints joints are rapidly involved in this condition, especially the hip, knee, and spine areas are commonly affected. So there will be this type of involvement is typically called as Charcot joints. Charcot joints, which is also known as arthropathic neuropathy, and there will be joint enlarges with increased bone formation and mobility, but no pain. Then Stapes dorsalgia, it is usually related to back pain. Then there will be high steppage gait, diabetic ataxia, and there will be sensory ataxia. There will be deafness because of the nerve which is involved in hearing are involved. Then Tibetic crisis. It is the most distressing features of this Stapes dorsalis condition. It is the Tibetic crisis. There will be paroxysmal painful disorders in the function of viscera like gut, gastric, laryngeal, vesicle, etc. Investigation. So investigation, first of all, we have to thoroughly examine the patient and we have to clearly differentiate this condition. It's very, very difficult to differentiate this condition. So the examiner or the examiner should be look for the classic triad of 3 A's. The 3 A's stands for, first A stands for Argand-Robertson pupil, second A stands for areflexia, and third A stands for ataxia. And there will be poor asymmetrical eye movements, deafness, clumsy hand and leg movements which can be seen. CT, MRI scans, spinal tap and certain blood tests, especially VDRL, is done to differentiate this tabes dorsalis condition from other conditions that can present similar symptoms. CSF examination is also done. A positive VDR test in the CSF is definitely diagnostic test for tabes dorsalis condition. And radiologically, we can see or we can manifest or we can see the Charcot joints, usually involving the hip, knee, and spine. Then we are moving about the differential diagnosis. Then the differential diagnosis are subacute combined degeneration of the cord. They may be vitamin B12 deficiency related myelopathy of the cervical and thoracic cord. Then second one is vascular disease myelopathy. Then hereditary and other demyelinating disorders, spinal tumors, post-infectious demyelination. These are the main differential diagnosis of this condition. Then we are going to about the management. So management, that it can be divided into two parts, that is medical management and physiotherapy management. First we discussing about the medical management. The main goal of the medical management or the treatment is to reduces the infection or cure the infection, and also we have to slows the progression of the disease. So we can treat the infection to prevent the new nerve damage and reduce the symptoms, but it cannot be reverse the existing nerve damage. So mainly we are giving antibiotic treatment, that is penicillin G. Intravenous aqueous crystalline penicillin G is administered for 2 weeks, and if the patient is allergic to the penicillin, another alternative drug which is ceftriaxone can be administered. For treating pain, phenytoin, carbamazepine and valproic acid are given. Then we are moving about the physiotherapy management. So physiotherapy management, first we have to construct a problem list. So what are the problems that is felt by the patient? So main problems are, there will be problem with the balance, there will be weakness, there will be hypotonicity, there will be sensory problems, impaired sensation, there will be gait problems, that is impaired gait, and there will be incoordination, that is impaired coordination. Based on the problem list, we have to set the goals for the physiotherapy treatment. So what are the main goals that we can here include is, we have to do that, we have to improve the balance, we have to improve the ADLs, we have to strengthen the weakened muscle, we have to educate about the sensory loss and educate the patient about the precaution to be taken, we have to educate the gait, that is gait re-education, we have to improve the coordination. These are the main goals that should be focused. Physiotherapy means, so first one, it is a strengthening exercise. So strengthening exercise, all strengthening exercise for the lower extremity that can be given for this patient. In case the patient is using any assistive aids, we have to strengthen the upper extremity. So in the strengthening exercise, all the upper extremity and lower extremity exercise are included. Then second one, we have to teach the patient to how to use the assistive devices and what are the precautions that to be taken while we are using the assistive devices. That is, we have to improve the mobility, so we have to use the assistive devices. Then balance training. Balance training means both static as well as dynamic balance training should be teach to the patient, and all balancing activities should be done depending upon the age of the patient and the ability of the patient that he can perform the exercise. So it is very, very important. Then Frankel's exercise, which is done in 4 positions, that is lying, sitting, and standing position, as well as we have to improve the rhythmic movements also. We have to improve the coordination of the rhythmic movements also. That type of exercise also we can give it. So this Frankel exercise are best described in the Dina Gardner's text of exercise physiology. Okay. Then general reconditioning exercise. These are the main means that we can include in this tabes dorsalis condition. So if you are writing a physiotherapy paper, you should have to explain under all these headings. You have to explain about the strengthening exercise, you have to explain about the assistive devices, you have to explain about the balance training, Frankel's exercise and general reconditioning exercise. I don't give any explanation in this slide, but you have to explain detail about this exercise conditions. Last slide shows a mnemonics of Tabes dorsalis condition, and the mnemonic word of the Tabes dorsalis condition is a dorsalis itself. Each letter stands for each characters in this Tabes dorsalis condition. So first D stands for a dorsal column. There will be a slow degeneration or demyelination of the dorsal column. And second O stands for the features, that is orthopedic pain, mainly Charcot pain, neuropathic arthropathy. Then R stands for reflex decreased. S stands for shooting and burning pain. A stands for Argyll-Robertson pupil, and L stands for locomotor ataxia. I stands for impaired proprioception, and S stands for syphilis. It is mainly caused by delayed complication of syphilis. So these are the main mnemonics of Tabes dorsalis, and hope you understand this condition. And if you have any suggestions or if you have any complaints, let me know in your suggestion box. Thank you.